Alright, so this is my outdoor pond aquarium, and it's springtime, so we're gonna get this bad boy up and rolling. I'm gonna make some modifications here just to get it back in shape, kind of repair some things from last year, do some different things with the filter media. It's full sun, so the biggest thing with this is avoiding algae blooms, and last year was okay. So this year I'm going to make some changes to the filter media to make that better. But this is the outdoor pond, getting it up and running. So here we go.
So this here is the initial concept, kind of playing with the blocks, laying them out at Home Depot to see how I was going to configure this. And then I went to place it in the yard to see, the spacing of it, what it would look like initially. And then placing my glass, and initially I was going to try to coat the cement on the sides and fit the glass in there, but I ended up changing that whole layout. And then here is where I poured a concrete bottom in order to secure both sides, and I didn't reinforce the sides of the cinder block, so I wanted to have a strong concrete bottom. So this is pouring that and letting that dry. I cut steel pieces to fit the glass together. The glass panels I actually got from a work site. They're tempered glass, so there's no way to cut them. So I had to fit this cinder block around this glass specifically. On the sides you see here, I used Flex Seal to coat a piece of wood that holds the side together. I couldn't find a piece of glass that was thick enough to put on that side, so that was the option that I went with, and then just used a 100% silicone to seal all the edges together within the metal frame that I cut. And so that was the tank. I picked it up and moved it to set it in that block. Here's the first time the tank is filled with water. Last year I purchased these lights off of Amazon. They were like 11 bucks. So give a little light show at night, which is pretty neat. It had a remote, but the lights didn't last that long, so I'm not going to mess with that this year, I don't think. But I do have a solar panel light that does shine at night to give a little light. Here are the plants. The lilies grown out a little bit. So here's where the magic happens. This is the canister, the filter. So this 265-gallon pump flows to the waterfall. It sucks the water in, and so there's filter media, biofilter, mechanical filtration, chemical filtration in that canister. And this year I'm going to make some changes to that. So the first thing I wanted to do is just clean out the waterfall in the media that was left over from last year. I had some clay balls, some soil along some pea gravel, and some lava rock that was in there. So kind of a hodgepodge. I was planning on planting some kale in there. Didn't really work out. So getting that cleaned out so that I can put the new media in there. This is a good shot to show how the plumbing for this waterfall works. As you see there, I am putting water into the planter and it's just flowing through that PVC pipe there. So the pump on the other end flows the opposite way, works the same way. If I need to drain that planter, I usually will just unplug the hose and let it drain that way out directly outside of the pond as it's doing right now. So here I am getting ready to apply the Flex Seal. So I got this can of Flex Seal, 14 bucks at Target, I believe. So just recoating some of the areas from last year that were kind of worn down. It is again a wood panel. And so making sure that I keep that heavily coated is definitely top of mind. There were mixed reviews about Flex Seal. It says that it's pond safe on the advertisement. I decided to go with it, check it out. It worked out well last year. The fish were happy. I was happy. So we're going to roll with that again this year.
So here is the pond pre-fish. So put some pansies in the cedar cinder block flower pots on the side, and hope those do okay this year. And resealed sides, and actually puts some Flex Seal on the coat of the cinder block this year. Last year I had an issue with right under that waterfall, behind the wood panel, getting a little wet. So this year I sealed that up really nice. You can see a bead of silicone there and everything. And then this year, last year I tried to plant kale in this, and I had this dirted and rocked, and that didn't really work out. So this year I'm just doing a more hardy plant, some pothos, and I put a lot of lava rock in there. So this is going to be the filtration on it. As you see, that's where the water flows through there, out of the pond. It will flow through here. So the biofiltration with the plants will be the last immediate filtration, and then it will hit the waterfall. And so I really stacked this pretty full of lava rock. The water won't come up that high, but last year I had some algae buildup in this, from the sun just hitting that top of the water and underneath that. So this here, I hope to prevent algae buildup with that biomedia kind of sticking out of the water and the water flowing underneath that with the plants as well. And of course those plants should grow here full sun. So the next step is to get the pump and the filter all cleaned out, and get that set up and running, and then get the fish in here. So
it is super bright out here, but this is, so excuse me for squinting, but this is it, guys. The pond is set up for right now. Only thing missing is the turtle, which I'll get him in here, and after the fish are acclimated a little bit more. So looking pretty clear right now, and of course want to keep it this way throughout the summer, being full sun. So with the filtration, as you see right there, that's the little filtration canister, and that's filled mostly with like fine media that's going to really keep the algae at bay. And then that whole planter that you see right there is the biomedia lava rock. And I filled it to the brim so that the sun is not actually hitting the water, which last year caused a decent algae bloom in there. And I've got koi fish, a couple koi fish. They're not massive, and then a few comet chibunkin in there, and then my massive precautionist, which I'll have to show you here in just a second. But this is it.
fully set up, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the summer.